All right, so this is going to be item number 19 for my 7th grade class. We are going to write probability of a chance event. Okay. And these are going to be working with a lot of things that you're going to see probably in games, right? Because probability is really a lot about games. So let's look at some examples of what we might be able to see. So we're going to assume that we have this container, okay? And for this container, we're going to go ahead and look at this problem. Let's see, I guess we'll put it right here. This container below, but we'll say above, contains 12 gray, 1 white, and 4 black marbles without looking. If Eric chooses a marble from the container, will the probability be closer to 0 and 1, or 1 that Eric will select a white marble, a gray marble, a black marble, and we're going to justify each of our predictions. So let's figure this out mathematically. Alright, so we know that he can get 2 grays, 1 white, and 4 marble, or 4 black. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 possible outcomes, right? We can only get 7 different things, 7 outcomes. Because there are 7 marbles. Okay, so that's what I'm going to remember. There are, okay, so I can't get any more than 7, or one of those 7 marbles, right? All right, so what if I want to know what's the probability of the 2 gray marbles? Well, he sticks his hand in, and he might get, there's 2 grays over his 7 total, which means that he would have 2 over 7, which is 28.5% when we figure that out and we use a calculator and then move the decimal place over. So what we're telling you, or what I'm telling you, is that we're going to be putting this into general terms by saying the number of the occurrences over the possible choices. So the number of the occurrence, so in this case, the grays had 2 over the number of possible choices. And that's going to equal your probability. So let's try it now with our white marbles. Well, it says up here that we have 1 white marble, and that's going to be over our 7 possible, so 7 total marbles. And that is going to give us 1 over 7 as the probability, or if you wanted it in a percentage, it would be 14.3%. Okay? And what about the next one, which was the black marbles? We have 4 black marbles over the total of 7 white marbles. Oops, sorry, total marbles, which is equal to 4 over 7, and when we turn that into a percentage, we have 57.1%. The question asks us whether it's closer to 1 or to 0. Well, 1 is 0%, and 100 is 100% is 1. So this one's actually closer to 0. This one's 14.3% is actually closer to 0%. And this one, 57.1%, it's over the 50% mark, so I would say it's closer to 1 or 100%. Okay, if you need a little extra time, you can go ahead and stop and pause the video, but I'm going to keep going, okay, after I glue in these 2 cute things. You guys should have gone ahead and written down these things, because I'm not providing these for you, so you're going to write down verbatim what I've written. Hopefully after you've written down the objective, which would be that you understand probability, right, or in a single event. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the second one here, item number 19, and I'm going to glue this one in because it's easier. And this one's going to have to do with dice. So you guys have all seen our traditional type of dice, right? So this is going to be a 6-sided dice, the kind that we always use. Okay, so Ronnie is playing snakes and ladders, and he rolls a 6-sided dice, which is like this traditional dice, right? He's going to roll it, and he wants to know the probability that he will roll a 3. It should say roll. He should roll a 3. So if we roll it, let's see, how many different types of things? We can get a 1, a 2, a 3, oops, a 3, a 5, a 4, or a 6. So there's 6 different sides to this dice. So we know that we have 6 possible outcomes every time that he rolls this dice, right? If we have 6 possible outcomes, the chance of rolling any of these numbers is 1 out of 6, because each of these numbers only comes up once, right? So then we can convert this into a decimal. If we divide 1, because 3 only comes up, is only one of the 3 sides, we're going to divide it and we're going to get 0.166. And when we convert that into a decimal by moving, or sorry, a percentage by moving the decimal 2 places to the right, we're going to get 16.66%. So that's the percent, or the probability that I could roll a 3. Okay, so that would be the probability of rolling a 3 is equal to 16.7%, because we're going to round up a little bit. Okay, so that's the probability when we have 1 dice. And the next one is about flipping a coin, which you guys probably will see sometimes, right? Flipping a coin. So we're going to go ahead and add this last one in. This is item or number 3. Okay, and you can write that down, please. And this one's going to be talking about flipping a coin. So when we're flipping a coin, it's either heads or tails, right? So let's see. It says Jacob and Jack want to play an arcade game. They are having trouble deciding who will play first, and so they flipped a coin. What is the probability of getting heads on the coin flip? So they're only going to toss it once. It's a regular coin. One side is going to be heads, and the other side is going to be tails. So how many different outcomes can we have? We can only have 2 outcomes, and we want to know the probability of choosing heads. How many of the heads do we have? We just have 1 head, so this is the occurrence. That's how many heads we could possibly get. And this one would be the total number. We can only get one of these 2 things, right? So it's 1/2, or if we change that into a percentage, it would be 50%. So it's a 50-50 chance, is what we might say, of getting heads. Okay, so that's pretty much all we're going to do on this part of probability today. So that is your 6.2 lecture that you should have taken notes on, and then you can move on to the homework followed by the quizzes.